Professor Dugin, thank you for doing this interview. Welcome. And let me start with this. How do you view the US proposal for ending the war in Ukraine? And what do you see as the most likely scenario in the coming months?
So, thank you for inviting me. I think that the plan that Trump has suggested, it is a pure humiliation for Ukraine and for European Union, because it is a kind of surrender of Ukraine and accepting the main claims of Russian position. But at the same time, so we see Trump is realist. He has very realistic approach to the conflict, and he obviously tries to end it, to put the end to the war in Ukraine, and he has suggested a kind of realistic plan. It could not satisfy Ukraine, it could not satisfy European Union because of the pure and clear humiliation of them. It is surrender. But at the same time, it is not too well accepted by Russia, because we need something more than just recognition of Crimea, of Donbass and other regions already controlled by us. We need to put the end to the Nazi regime in Ukraine and demilitarization, total demilitarization of the Ukraine, and we are ready to fight for this end. So we are not too much happy with Trump's plan. So everybody is unhappy except Trump himself. So I think that the plan will not be accepted by Ukrainian side and by European Union. They will sabotage it, and I think that the war in Ukraine will continue, and in the next month, in coming months, I think that the victory of Russia will be much more evident and much more clear and transparent to everybody.
In the West, Ukraine is seen as a sovereign state under attack. In your intellectual framework, what does Ukraine represent?
The sovereignty doesn't mean much already during last 100 years. I don't seriously consider the Ukrainian sovereignty as something serious. It is not something serious. Ukraine could belong either to us or to the West. That is what it's all about. It is not about sovereign state. There are no more sovereign state as there was the case in the Westphalian world 100 years ago. So that was sovereignty. It is just formality that doesn't correspond to any real geopolitical content. So I think that Ukraine now is torn apart between us and the West. We are sovereign, the West is sovereign, and Ukraine is just the territory where two sovereignties confront each other.
What does it mean? And, I'm trying to understand why Kyiv is so important to you. It has to do with history, it has to do with geopolitics. Why?
Ukraine is the part of our geopolitical sphere of influence. It is the part of our Christian Orthodox, Russian Christian Orthodox civilization, and it should be either neutral or friendly. It could not be hostile. The West has turned Ukraine into the anti-Russia in a kind of the territory of the hatred to Russia. We could not tolerate that, and the Ukraine could exist either as neutral or as friendly. It could not exist as something hostile, and it will not exist like that.
Europe fears Russia and is rearming fast. How do you explain this Russophobia? And what, in your view, doesn't Europe understand about Russia's intentions?
I think that Europe now desperately fights to to save its globalist liberal agenda. The European Union and the people of Europe and society, and much more the elites of European Union, they still believe in the end of the history. They try to impose their global liberal world order on the humanity, and they could not accept that this dream is over, that now we are living in totally different world, and Russia is the kind of main obstacle on the implementation of this unipolar globalist agenda. Russia refuses totally this system, liberal system of values. Russia represents the huge power, global power that is based on the traditional Christian Orthodox values. And I don't think that really European societies, they really hate us. That is imposed from the top. So European elites really suffer Russophobia, not so much European societies and people.
How do you interpret the relationship between Putin and Trump? Is it mutual understanding, realism, or just common interests? What do you see there?
I think that there are some common points and some points of divergence between Putin and Trump. They have common position because Putin and Trump both hate liberalism, globalism, liberalism. They hate liberal European elites and they hate globalists. At the same time, second point, you are right. They both of them are realists in international relations, so they have a lot to do together because they are sovereign countries. MAGA scenario, MAGA strategy is something that is very much acceptable by us, but Trump not always follows this MAGA scenario. He, from time to time, he is entering under influence of this globalist, neoconservative circles in the United States, and that is the only, I think, obstacle on the way of mutual understanding between Putin and Trump.